This is Changing Greers, and I'm your host, Brady.
And I'm Ben. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the first ever episode of Changing Greers. I'm Brady.
And I'm Ben.
And today we have Dwight Roberson on our show. He was a 3-year starter at Oregon State and then got signed to the New Orleans Saints. So today we're going to be talking about football. So I'm just going to start off with the first question. When did you start playing football?
I started playing football at the age of 7 years old. Played some Pop Warner football. So that was back in good old 1994. So, yeah.
At that young age, could you tell that you were like on a different level? Or when did it really stick out that you were special?
Not right away.
Not right away.
I just knew in the beginning I really enjoyed football. And then by the time, I guess you can say I was in middle school, kind of knew that I might have a chance to play at least college ball at that time.
So at St. Bonaventure, your high school, when did you play freshman on freshman as varsity as a freshman, or what was your role?
Yeah, so my freshman year I played JV, and then I swung up onto varsity during playoff time. Got a couple reps during playoffs.
And then varsity for the rest of the time?
Yeah, and then varsity for my
3-year starter as well?
Yeah, from my sophomore year all the way to my senior year.
And middle linebacker on defense, and then what about offense?
So my sophomore year I actually played D-end, really.
Okay.
And then my junior year I played middle linebacker, and then my senior year I played outside linebacker just because my coach thought that's what I was going to play when I got to college.
What was one of your favorite memories in high school?
One of my favorite memories in high school is winning state champs.
Oh.
But the biggest thing for me really about high school football is the bond with my teammates. Like, I don't feel like I had that type of bond in college or in professional like I did in high school. We were all pretty much bought in, and we all did our roles, and I think that's why we were successful in winning 3 state championships.
So you didn't just play football, you also ran track. Was that football always your favorite sport? Was track?
So
what was that relationship like?
Yeah, so football, it's like, it goes hand in hand. Like, football was obviously my favorite sport because I love contact. But I love track too because track got me better at football,
right.
Speed-wise. And so, and I just really enjoy the social part of track.
So you ended up going to OSU. Was there any, could you walk us through that process a little bit? Why did you pick OSU?
Oh, yeah. So definitely. So I started getting recruited when I was like a sophomore. So had some couple teams look at me, and then when I became a junior is when I started like getting more like looks and stuff like that, and that was a fun process. And then when I became a senior, Oregon State reached out to me, and they came and visit quite often and showed a very good interest in me, and so that was really cool. The reason why I picked Oregon State is because I didn't pass my SAT right away, right? And so some teams were waiting on me to finish that, and Oregon State kept the relationship really close during that time. And then I committed there just because of just the coaching. The coach that came visit me, had a good relationship with them. There was other schools that were I liked, but the coach has kind of made the difference.
What was your relationship with Mike Riley, the head coach at the time?
So me and Mike Riley, he's an offensive coach, right? And so I didn't have that much interaction with him like that, but he was a good coach, great guy, very family first type of coach, which was really important in the recruiting process for me. But yeah, he was a good coach. Different coaching styles than what I grew up on. I grew up on a coach yelling at you all the time, and Coach Riley has a different approach, which was really cool.
Something fresh, something different.
Yeah.
So You were obviously a three-year starter. What are like some of your accomplishments and best memories? I don't know if those go hand in hand.
So in college,
Yeah, specifically
so
college.
some of my best memories in college were probably my sophomore year. We beat the Ducks. It was the only time we beat the Ducks. So I mean, I got to remember that we went on a James Rogers fly sweep. I guess I would say going to the bowl games. So those were always fun, just going to the bowl games. Those going to a different place, play a team that you don't even know that's not in your league. It's really cool. Accomplishments. I'm second in forced fumbles in Oregon State history. In forced fumbles, should I say? I almost got first, but then Stephen Paella, who's a beast, beat me down that. Honorable mention, my redshirt junior year and sophomore year, and then I led the team in my senior year. So.
Impressive.
As we know, you got signed by the Saints. What was your mentality going into that?
Try to get a job. Really, I pretty much the whole time I was there, I just eat, sleep, football, right? During that time, I spent my time in a hotel, just because I wasn't settled there yet, so there was no reason to get apartment or anything.
Right.
So I lived in the hotel, and I wake up, watch film, go to practice, watch film, you know what I mean, and then just watch film as much as possible, to the point where coaches were kicking me out of the film room because I was in there so much, to the point where after a while they just let me be in there when they were having their meetings. So, and I just tried to learn every position as a linebacker to make myself more appealing, because I could play all the linebacker positions. So.
How long were you with the Saints? Were Saints the only team that you
So I was with the Saints for about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
And then I got a tryout with the Rams when they were in St. Louis. So what happened there is that the defensive coordinator from the Saints moved to the Rams the following year, and I got a chance to work out with him, and then he ended up leaving. And so the head coach at that time had other plans, and so he didn't invite me back to camp.
Was the speed of the game different from college to NFL?
100%. So first and foremost, as you guys are linebackers, right?
Yeah.
The offensive linemen are all of them are 6'6" or taller. So as somebody as our height, 6 foot, it's pretty hard, right? And so it was a really adjustment to having that speed still, and then having these long people still able to stay with you because they're so long. But DBs, receivers, all that was fast. It took about I would say a week or two for me to adjust a little bit, because you're fast. Everybody's fast, but you're also learning a new scheme too. So I think that's really the adjustment. So,
do you have any mentors or people you looked up to or tried to follow when you're at the Saints specifically? Guys you're trying to be
I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't have anybody that was there I was trying to be with, but I had some guys like John Vilma help me out. Now, initially when I got there, right, he wasn't trying to help me, but then after a while, because I proved myself and I didn't get cut, you know what I mean? I was there, so they were then they started helping me a lot, and so that was pretty cool. But really growing up, one of the people I wanted to be is LT, Lawrence Taylor. And then I really enjoyed Junior Seau.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's Ray Lewis too, but
I put Seau above.
Yeah, I like those two guys. Those two guys first.
So after that, you took a break from football,
Yeah.
right? And then you got back into coaching. How was that?
Yeah. So after football was done, I took a little break, trying to figure out who I am, because football had been my life for most of my life. So that was like a big transition. And then I got the opportunity I was back at home, so I got the opportunity to coach my little brother. And so that's kind of where I found like, oh yeah, I like football this type of way now. And so that was cool. And then I got back into coaching my little brother, and then I moved back to Oregon and got to coach at Corvallis High for a little bit.
So you coached football at Corvallis and then came to South and coached track?
Yeah.
And then came to football?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was some of your advice for young athletes?
One of the things I just say is just like, work hard, follow your dream, and, not everybody gets an opportunity, right, to go to the next level, but enjoy school football because that might be your last go around, and it's great memories that you'll remember forever. Also, like you guys hear me say this, is get your eyes right as a linebacker. So, those are the kind of
eyes right.
Yeah, I mean, and that goes for every position. If your eyes in the right place, you're probably gonna be successful. But that's really for me. I just do your job. Another big thing is like you can't have one without the other. This is probably the most important thing because I had a lot of friends growing up that were excellent football players, but didn't have academics to go with it. And so you can be the greatest player in the state, but if you don't have the academics, so make sure you take care of both because after football's over, that's what you're gonna have to go on. So make sure you always have. I always say my dad used to say always have a plan B. You can have your dream, and your dream could be football or whatever sport, whatever it may be. But always have that backup plan with your education you can fall back on. So.
Okay, so I have one last question. So you have some young kids, and you have a son specifically. Do you want him to play football? Like, are you gonna push him to play football, or are you fine not?
That's a good question.
He's still a little young.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I used to think of like, man, my son's gonna play football like me. He's gonna be nice because I'm gonna teach him everything.
You're gonna train him.
Everything that I didn't know and do know, he's gonna know when he's in high school. But like after I had my son, I really don't care. Like if he wants to play football, cool, I'll be happy. If he doesn't want to play football, that's fine too. And if he wants to play baseball, I guess, right? I mean, I only say that.
Through a whole baseball.
I say that because I know you guys are baseball players, but like, I mean. Like, I really don't care. Like, whatever he wants to play, I'll support. I mean, shoot, if he wants to just do, like, band or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not going to force them to do anything. I had a lot of friends growing up where their parents forced them to, like, play football, and they get burnt out really fast. And so I don't want that. I just want my kid to do whatever, my son to do, and my daughter to do whatever they want to do. Oh, they will run.
They'll run track?
They will run track. No
question about that?
There is no question about that. They'll run track for sure. They'll do that at least.
Can't hurt. You just faster.
Running.
Yeah, you just get faster.
Running.
Well, we appreciate having you on. That will conclude this, so appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
There were some big wins from the Saxons last week. Some of the notable ones are South Salem football defeats South Medford 45-21 at South Medford. And then volleyball advances to 10-5 overall with their wins against McNary and West Salem last week and North Salem.
This top events coming up this week is football. South Salem football takes on West Salem at home. Volleyball will travel to West Salem and host Sprague on Thursday.
Make sure you're there on Friday. Be rowdy on the first home game of the year. And thank you for listening to Changing Greers.